Hello everybody, welcome to Take Two Reviews, and we have got an interesting movie for you here. We are going to be talking about the single greatest shark movie that has ever existed in the history of human life. The definition of bad shark movies. We're talking about the masterpiece of shark movies. We are talking about Shark Exorcist. This movie was made in 2015. Directed by Donald Farmer. Yes, my notes are on my phone, so please bear with me as I try to talk about this. I will be glancing down sometimes, but don't worry. I'm making sure I give you the best of the best when it comes to this movie. Don't you worry. Made 2015. Directed by Donald Farmer, who has made beautiful masterpieces in the time. I'm seeing where else but Donald Farmer are you going to find movies such as Cannibal Hookers and an erotic vampire in Paris. I mean, where else? Someone tell me where else you're gonna get that but Donald freaking Farmer. The best of the best I'm only giving you. It has a $300,000 estimated budget. Where about $299,900 went, I don't know. But I'm pretty sure this was, because I'm pretty sure this only cost about $100. It was a choice, this movie. Movie was a choice, let me tell you. $300,000 estimated budget, 19% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's being generous, to be honest. If you enjoy bad movies, I mean, this is just shit. This is the best you can get. You ain't gonna get, you ain't gonna find this in a theater. No. See, you ain't gonna get no blockbuster. You ain't gonna get movies like this in no theater by no big company. No. You gonna get this from the best of the best. You gotta have some class to be able to enjoy the level of BS that comes out of this movie. It is absolutely incredible. It is a gift to all of us. It is a gift to me. It is a gift to you that we are going to review this here. But let's talk about some reviews. I want to give you some reviews of this movie. We're going to start off with Nahiz Mascuta, something like that. Please, if I say that name wrong, I apologize. But their reviews are, this movie, it's incredibly, undeniably, absolutely awful. The acting is as convincing as a wall. The effects was like a 1-year-old brainless baby made them. The plot is unclear, and there is no way that they had a $300,000 budget. They had a $300 budget. The extra zeros were for moral support. The first review I saw said, and I quote, "This is the best horror movie ever created, outdoing The Exorcist and Paranormal Activity. There's literally no denying that these are bots, or at the very least, people with taste so low they're lower than the underworld itself. I'm shocked any 5-star reviews were written. Do not buy unless you want to chuckle about how bad sharks get it these days." Pretty slanderous. And look at another one. We got another one. We got Devin Moore, who says, "Every other reviewer here needs a shovel and a bucket to clean up the bullshit they are spewing in regards to how phenomenal this movie is. Anyone with access to a camera and a laptop could create a far better movie than this turd of a production." Very hard. We gotta do one more, just one more. Charles Cross, who says, "Honestly, the worst movie I've ever seen. This happened without explanation, characters reduced without reason, and incredibly uncomfortable scenes are thrown in without reason. The movie equivalent of a lobotomy." I don't know what that is. Let's Google it. What's a lobo? Hold on. Okay, it's very medically described, so I can't even look at it. Okay, anyways, we've done enough talking. It's only been about 3 minutes probably I've been doing this review. This might be short, but we need to talk about this. We need to get the best of the best. We need to look at this the best way we can. And we're gonna do so. We open in a graveyard. Got this random graveyard, and the dude's walking around. As they're walking, as this we walking, we see a nun walking. By the way, don't get used to this nun if you're watching this, because you will not see this nun again almost until the end. This nun is walking down through the graveyard. She just then walks towards the lake, which found out as Paris Landing, I think it is. Paris Landing, I think is what it's called. And as she walks to this lake, she's telling about how the world has done her wrong. She will get her revenge, though they will taste her wrath. Bet it tastes like shit, judging by this movie. Taste her wrath. And then, out of nowhere, you just cut to this blonde woman who's walking towards her. Slowly but surely. You have no idea who this woman is. We are not introduced to who this woman is. We are not introduced to who this nun is. I have no idea who either of these two are. The nun. This woman then approaches and then spins her around and says, I know what you did. We are never told what she did, by the way. Unless you have the thing that describes the movie, you will have no idea what is going on in this movie. But the woman approaches and then screams at her, just tell her, and I'm gonna make sure you rot in hell. So this nun pulls out a knife and stabs her. And this one stab wound causes this woman to bleed all over her body. I'm talking like up her chest, up her neck, into her mouth. She's bleeding from like the back of her head somehow. She has her clothes are soaked, bleeding down her leg. She's bleeding everywhere from this one stab wound. And this woman, this nun, slowly, and I mean slowly, drags this body. Apparently no one comes here, because there's no one who's watching this. As she slowly drags the body all the way towards the lake. Well, she screams at the lake to take her sacrifice and kicks the woman who's already dead into the water. And then we just cut to the demonic shark, who's clearly CGI, like you couldn't have, and it's really bad. It's really bad CGI. It's not the worst. One movie we'll get to at some point. I'm going to force myself to watch it. We'll give you that answer. And this woman, the shark, we assume, because if we don't show it, eats the woman as they just cut to black and we go on to the next part. That's the only time you will see this nun until the end of the movie. I'm just letting you know. Do not invest in trying to wonder who this nun is. You will not get an answer, because they do not bring her up again. We then see 3 women driving in a car. We find out they're Lauren, Allie, and Emily. And they are driving the car, and Lauren, we find out, really stupid. And the reason we find out she's really stupid is she cannot grasp what a lake is. It seems to just not click into her very dense head what a lake is, because this woman is like, we're going to a lake. Is it a water park? She's like, no, it's a lake. And they're like, we'll have a water slide. And she's like, no, it's a lake. And she then goes. And then she's like, were you aware that this chum is just a lake? She says that to Allie, because Emily's the driver. So Lauren says to Allie, do you aware that it was just a lake? And then Allie rolls her eyes at this, because I don't blame her, because it makes Lauren sound like the stupidest human being you have ever met. So they drive to this lake. They get out, and Emily and Lauren decide they're gonna go off and, I think, sunbathe or do something like that. And then Ali proceeds to have the most unrealistic voicemail I have ever seen. I can even replay to you exactly what... This is what the voicemail pretty much went. She's calling Bobby, who we never meet, by the way. Bobby. So she calls Bobby, and this is pretty much how it goes. Hi, Bobby. Why aren't you picking up? Bobby, you need to call me back. And then, that's the goal. And then she doesn't even hang up the phone. She just puts the phone down and just puts the phone to the side and just starts walking. So this guy, whoever Bobby is getting the longest voicemail because she's just walking and not even hung up the phone. So Bobby has just got a real long phone call with nothing in it. We then... Oh, think about that. I have never enjoyed watching a movie more than this one. I just want you to know that. I have never enjoyed in my life watching a movie more than this one. Because this is a special type of movie. You can't find this. I keep repeating this. You won't find this anywhere else. You will only find this here. You will only find it in this type of movie. Because then we got back to Lauren and Emily, who proceed to have the worst conversation I have ever seen. They are robotic. There's no personalities. There's nothing to these two. These two offer nothing of any substance to this movie. They are around the entire time and offer absolutely nothing to this movie. It's actually insane. And it is ridiculous. It is ridiculous how this movie goes. So they seem to have a conversation, a robotic conversation, where we find out Ali's boyfriend Bobby cheated on her. I think, I don't even know if that's fully the story, and because she's sad, I guess, about it. But she's fucking calling him, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's who Bobby was. I'm gonna assume. I don't actually know. We'll find out anything. We then proceed. Find out Lauren. Emily asked Lauren if she even paid attention, to which Lauren said yes. So then they have her close her eyes and guess what color her jeans are or something like that, which she responds with green. I don't even think green jeans exist. I don't know if that's what it was, but I think that's what it was. And then she clearly looks to say blue, which they actually were. Shocker. And that's and then she revealed she didn't say no, I didn't, but it's the most generically robotic thing. There is zero personality in any of these people. We then proceed to what has to be the single best part of this entire movie, without doubt, which is when we cut to Ali, who's just in the water, slowly, majestically walking into the water to go swimming. And we keep it from a distance. And my favorite part is every time they cut to the shark, it'd be this demonic voice, and it's the same shot. I don't think the shark shot ever changes once. It's the same shot every time of the shark. And then suddenly, the shark attacks Ali. I say attacks, quotations, because you can see her whole body as she flims around on no side of the shark, which is even better. So then she swims up to shore, and like I remember how I said at the early being that the woman who got stabbed was gushing blood, like blood everywhere. Well, Ali, who had been bitten by a shark, has no blood on her. No injuries. She has a little bit of blood down her mouth. That's about it. You for some reason see blood in her belly button, which I don't even know if that's a thing that happens. And you see a little bit of blood where the bite mark is. But besides that, you see no actual sign of any sort of trip. You would think she tripped. I've seen more better blood when someone trips than I have. I've fallen off my bike and seen more blood than this girl had from a shark attack. It's a beautifully amazing. I just finished this movie, so all the thoughts are just going through my head, and I'm trying to, guide us through this journey. I'm not good at it, but I'm trying. Oh, we then get a first-person view of someone walking through a hallway, which is no reason. No other this didn't happen for any reason. This wasn't a person. This is just a random thing they did, because then they just cut to a news broadcast, and you never follow up on it. They never show you inside a hospital, nothing. She's just, so we just have this first-person view of someone walking through the hospital for no reason. No reason at all. We then, walk. Then we then cut to a news broadcast, and then Emily and Lauren are talking on a bench. But Lauren is apparently also so stupid and so robotic. She doesn't know how to say anything but whatever. I'm pretty sure she at least says whatever 6 times in this. And that's the only word she says. Okay and whatever. And then Lauren gets up and walks away from Emily, and you will not see Lauren again until the end of this movie. She's another one that just vanishes for the rest of the film. You don't see her again until the end of this movie. And I was thinking, God, this could be very weird. I wonder how you get to this. And then it got even better. It got even better. I can't believe this is even a thing. It got even better. Because we then cut to this woman just walking on the thing, and we find out there's a ghost show. A paranormal show in the context of a movie called Ghost Walkers, which is even better. And this woman is apparently is a paranormal investigator. This show has to be on a porn site. There was no one who could convince me this show is not on a porn site. Because if this was an actual show. Because the way this woman talks and her way she moves around, it would be like if a show was on a porn site. It clearly is on an adult film site. There's no other way. It has to be. This would have to be on it because it's so weird, her mannerisms. So Nancy then goes to the lake because she wants to talk. She wants to summon a connection with the spirit of the lake. So she goes to the lake, she begs the spirit to talk to her. And then she then becomes possessed. And in this possession, she just starts moving around and saying a bunch of words in a wannabe dark tone voice. And then my favorite part of the editing is the editing of this, because after she's done, she slowly starts making noises again, like she's just on an adult site. And then they cut to it and they zoom in, and the zoom in is so beautiful in its awfulness. Zooms in on her hair, and that is the end thing. It zooms in on her hair, and then it cuts to the next scene. I was so baffled by the editing of this that it actually amazed me. I was in awe of the awfulness of this editing. I repeat it again, I couldn't find this anywhere else. You can't find this anywhere else but here on this thing, on this type of movie. You won't find this anywhere. It is amazing. It is actually amazing. We then go back to a conversation between Emily and Allie, where Allie's talking. I guess Allie's just out of the hospital now. She's just fine. We find out because the talk is, she says she wished she would have died from the shark attack, and Emily's like, Allie, don't say that. The most generic way possible. And then Ali reveals that she has no wound, no scar, no nothing from the shark attack. She has revealed the bandages off and there's nothing there. It's complete. She's fine. Completely fine. And as she goes about it, I was befuddled. I was baffled. Completely in disbelief. And I was trying to figure out what happened. So how the hell does that work? And it's never explained, except for the fact that, I guess, since it's a demon shark, she's possessed, is what we find out. I'm left baffled how the possession works, but I can't make sense of it. Ali just walks away from Emily, and Emily just lets her be. Emily doesn't even try to stop her. Ali then hitchhikes by walking in the on the road, not even on the side of it where you're supposed to when you stick your thumb. She's walking right on the road. She would get hit by a car, but she doesn't. Some young dude who happens to just perfectly be her age. What a shock! Pulls over, and she says she wants to go back to the lake, and asks the guy to take her there. And at first he says no, and then she says, "I'm going with you." Without you. So because this guy is the same age as her in his 20s, I'm going to assume, and of course because he's in his 20s and it's a movie, the guy has to be horny. He then says, "Okay, I'll take you." And they go and they have this weird, odd scene in the lake where they're all over each other but yet never actually do anything to each other because they're always distance away. At the same time, push each other away. It's very weird. And Ali then goes underwater. And I guess, judging by how the movie goes, becomes a shark. And then attacks this guy. It's very weird. It's very bizarre. I don't know what the thought was at all. But what happened. She becomes a shark and eats this random dude because you don't know his name. And they just go, and that's that. We then get introduced to Father Michael, who's the priest who will find out about the actual him later on. There's some clip, there's some audio being said, but because of this awful production and the music being over top of Father Michael, you can't hear a word this man said that is being said. You can't hear a word of this being said. There's multiple scenes like this. We then go back to Nancy Chance, the paranormal investigator, who's perfectly fine after being possessed. I guess the demon that possessed her just let her go until next time. Which is now. She then comes back and she's gonna try again. And then some random woman shows up. You're gonna hear this a lot, a random person, because there's no introductions. So this random woman who's named Rihanna, we find out. She has some other ghost show, but it's more it's a show made to expose Nancy, is the show. And she comes out here and says, because Nancy is sure that the ghost, that the shark attacks is because the shark is possessed by a demon. I don't know how she's getting that, because nothing says that, but she some reason gets that vibe. And Rihanna shows up. Not the actor Rihanna, just a girl named Rihanna, shows up and says that's not the case, it's just a shark attack. And says the only reason Nancy's saying they're demonly possessed is to make it scary. Which implies, in my head, that to Rihanna, sharks attacking random people isn't scary. It's just a normal thing that normally happens, and it doesn't even bother her, it seems. So then she just starts, they both jaw-jack with each other, then the woman walks away, telling everyone they shouldn't listen to her because she's a fraud and all that. She walks away, and you cut, and that's it. And that for that scene, and I was baffled by it because couldn't hear a goddamn word being said. We then go to a graveyard. Oh, okay, first before this, we see Father Michael leaving his church. He's leaving his church, and he's looking at pictures of, I think, a woman. I don't know if it's a woman or a shark. I can't make it out. And then he just cut to three random women. We don't know who any of these women are. Three random women who are inside the graveyard. And they're trying to summon spirits, as you do, during the middle of the day, because it was still day out, so in the middle of the day, as you do, just go summon spirits in graveyards. She then, as summoning, we just cut to this woman, who is, just possessed, I think has been bitten, but I don't know, because she doesn't look like she's near a lake. So she's just running, and she's in pain, and she's being possessed, I think? I don't even know anymore. So we got this woman, and she's being possessed, and we keep coming back between the three women summoning the spirits, and this woman is being possessed. And then finally, it ends with her, the woman who's doing the main summoning, you know, starts freaking being possessed. She vibes out, she passes out, and then we cut to the woman who's, you know, other one being possessed, kind of come to terms back being fully possessed by the demon. And then the other woman, the woman who was passed out, who was summoning the spirits, wakes up, and then nothing happens afterwards. There's no follow-up. You never see them again. You never see them again. I have no idea what the point of that fucking scene was. I have no fucking idea what the point of that scene was. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Honestly. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. We then have another scene that I still don't know what the point of. She cut to a grown woman. Has to be. There is no way this woman is playing a child. Because if she is, that's messed up. Because you probably could have found a child. Because this woman looks like she's in her like 20s. Like in her 20s. And she is just on a playground. Playing with a playground like she's a child. I think she might be, if she is supposed to be an adult, she might be one who had, like, childlike behavior, maybe? But I don't know. So she's just going to play out, and then suddenly, Allie shows up. I don't know where she came from. And she goes, and they start talking about sharks. And, Allie's, the woman, who we never heard the name of, unless I just missed it, the woman then asks Allie what she likes to do. And Allie responds, totally age appropriate, says, she likes to get wet. And it just lingers on that I like to get wet thing. And then, as you normally would, as normal people totally do, the random woman then brings Allie to her house, to the backyard, where there's a pool. As you do. And Allie then slowly undresses and slowly does a striptease, pretty much, so she could get in the pool. There was no need for that. I didn't need that. That was so stupid, so dumb. I don't know why it happened. And she gets in the pool, and then she convinces the other woman, who apparently just has her bathing suit on under her clothes, like you do on a regular basis. And she gets in the pool, and they have a chat. Then Allie goes under the water and then wakes up from a nightmare, because that was a nightmare apparently. I became so baffled by this movie because nothing made any sense. I have never had a movie where no scene connects to the other. There's no scene, there's no story in this. This is just scenes. Scenes just plopped together, leading to this. It's freaking incredible. We then come back to everyone's favorite, Nancy Chance, who is again going to talk to the spirit. And Nancy gets possessed by the spirit again. And that's that. That's just what happens. Because then we cut to, what do we cut to next? Oh, we then just cut to a random woman being lured into the thing by Allie and being eaten by the shark. But we never get an explanation on who that woman is or why it happened, because it's not the same woman. It's a totally different woman. So, I don't know who this woman is. She is eaten by the shark. And that's that. That's the end of that. We then see Nancy Chance. She's walking in some area, some big podium thing, some big building, and Rihanna, who has apparently just stalked her, follows her and says she's gonna expose this bitch for me to fraud once and for all. So she goes up to her, and then Nancy turns around and she's clearly possessed. She slowly walks over, then suddenly we just cut to Rihanna on the ground. It's not, I don't know how she got on the ground. And then, Nancy gets on top of her, and that thing just pukes on her, like she spews some stuff on her. And that's it, that's the last you see of these two. You never see them two again. I have no idea what the point of that scene was, what happened there. Again, you don't see them again, so I don't know what actually happened. There's so much that we don't see what happens that I don't actually know what happens during the movie. Here's another one. We see a man running around the water, as you do, because that's the safest place to run. Like right on the dock of a water, so like you could easily slip and just fall into the water. But he's running around the water, and then he stumbles upon this woman's body. And because apparently this was needed for the movie, we see him throw up. Why did we see him throw up? Like, why did we see this man throw up, is my question. Because I've never been able to figure out why we did. But we did. We then cut to these three women. Again, they love the thing of cutting to three random women. Cut to three random women who, one's named Holly, that's all I know. I don't remember who the other two were. And they're in a car, and apparently even though this car that this woman has back seats, no one seems to know how they work because no one goes in them. The two just sit on like the front seat, like clumped together. It's very weird. And they say that they are, they want to join some sort of cult sisterhood thing. I cannot remember what the name of it is. It's really stupid. So they bring her to the lake. She brings the two women to the lake, and she says that for the final test, they got to go into the water for 10 minutes. They gotta last 10 minutes, and if they don't get eaten by the shark, they can join. So these women are standing in like the shallow end. Like you couldn't even make this up on shallow. Like just their feet are in the water, right? And they're saying, they're just talking very robotically. Then we see the shark move, and them two start screaming, but we don't see anything happen. And when they're screaming, they're just standing still, like they're not moving, they're not acting in pain, like they're being attacked. They're just screaming. So I don't even know what actually happened to them. I'm gonna assume they got eaten, but I don't actually know at all. Like, at all. I don't know what happened to these two or any of them. But then Father Michael showing up to the house where apparently Emily and Lauren and Allie all live. And Lauren is... he talks to Emily, and I guess explains that Allie's possessed. The part that hilariously explained his thing to me is... we don't know how he knows that Allie's possessed. We don't know how he knows anything about this. He literally just, like, I guess just knew where to go, I guess. And just knew where to guide Allie. Because he perfectly shows up at her house. He perfectly found out where she lived. I don't know how, but he just did. Very bizarre. We then cut to Carnival, where Allie's stalking people, looking for someone I assumed to just drag into the water, to bring into the water so she could eat them. And she follows this couple around. That, I don't know what the point of these two were. I know the point of one of them was to get eaten, but this couple is such an unbelievable couple, like I can't buy it's a couple, because the one dude went to this carnival to not do anything. Like, he literally just stood around and said no to everything. Like, why did he go to a carnival if he didn't want to do, buy, or be a part of it? Like, this is so dumb. So then them two split apart because she got upset that he wouldn't do anything. And then so they split apart, and then Allie shows up, and I guess she could have just done this all along, but no one knows it. Allie starts eating eating this random man, and just starts biting him. And Father Michael shows up, and I guess they kidnapped Allie. I don't know how they got Allie. They just because she goes, something, my lord, and so that, and then we just cut to Allie tied up. So I don't know what happened there, but Allie's now kidnapped. She has now been kidnapped by Emily and Father Michael. And Father Michael's is doing the single worst possession I have ever seen. It's about as the least convincing exorcism. He does the least convincing exorcism I've ever seen, I should say. Not possession, exorcism. And it's so bad, the exorcism is so bad, that it just doesn't go well. It just doesn't go well. It doesn't work. It's really bad. It's really dumb. And then Allie just gets loose because Father Michael tries to strangle her, apparently, and Emily stopped him from doing that. And then Allie offers the demon, I should say, Satan, I'm pretty sure is the demon. So Satan offers Father Michael's body in exchange for Allie's body being free, which Father Michaels agrees to. So I guess he goes into his body via kiss, because she kisses him, and then he just, like, Satan ends up in Father Michael's body, and in about the span of 2.5 seconds, Father Michael is possessed, and then biting Emily. So Emily then walks off, and then comes back out of the sky as the demon shark to eat Allie and Father Michael, which is amazing. So they're dead. They're just dead. We then see what I can consider the most uncomfortable shot of this entire time. So she's sitting, this woman, we don't know who this woman is at all. She's just big jacked woman, so she got some good size on her. She walks over to near the lake, takes off her shirt, takes off her pants, and is it just a thing to sunbathe. And this long tracking shot is done where this guy behind a tree walks over to her, starts taking pictures of her, starts like caressing her body and all that. and then disappears. And she wakes up and no one's there, so she puts the clothes back on. Then suddenly the nun from the beginning of the movie just returns and stabs her, and she's dead. And I'm guessing she's been sent to the eaten by the shark. And the woman just starts licking the blood off. She has blood all over her face. She's licking the blood off the knife that she stabs her with. And it says, "Hail Satan." And then another woman pops out of the sea, slowly walks over to the nun and pulls her into the water to, I also assume, get eaten by the shark. I don't know. We never see the shark eat anyone. So we just have to assume. And the shark then starts down. We then cut back to Lauren, who's just back. She's just back alive. And then we see Emily, who's been bitten, walking down a thing near the lake. She takes off her shirt and is going to go jump into the water. Lauren runs up to her and says, "What's wrong?" And she says, "You don't want to know." And Lauren says, "Now this time I do." And Emily says, "Forgive me." So she then jumps back into the water. Gives about a second. She turns into a shark, comes back out, and eats Lauren. And that's where it fades to black. With Shark Exorcist. And that's the end of the movie. I don't think we'll rain movies yet on this channel, but if I were to, this is the best of the best. This is the best. If this is a movie, if the question needs to be asked, does this movie deserve a take 2? Absolutely not. Because you will never find a movie as good as this one again. You will never find a bad movie like this ever again. You will only find this with this man, with Donald Fisher, I believe his name is. Double check here. Donald Farmer, my apologies. You only find it with Donald Farmer. Ladies and gentlemen, that is The Shark Exorcist. This is one of the single worst movies I've ever seen. And it's beautiful for that reason. It absolutely does not. It needs to stay where it is at the bottom of the damn thing. Should never be touched again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got any movie suggestions you would like to see us review on this thing, be it bad or good, let us know in the comments. Hit the like button to show support to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, of course. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you all in the next one.